doing the third, fourth term would probably be counted over two hands and so on. So really, it's very, very, it's a big congratulations to all of you for being elected, and especially for those who are coming back. Honorable members, I'm sure you agree with me that the big elephant in the room when we talk about Malawi is really how do we translate the country's thriving democracy into substantial improvement in the well-being of Malawians, so that each one is given a decent chance, a decent opportunity to thrive and contribute to meaningfully to national development and to uplift their own lives as citizens. I work for the African Institute for Development Policy, AFIDEP, and we are a Pan-African organization whose main mission is to bridge the gaps between research, policy, and practice. So we try to make sure that decision-making, including the decisions that you'll be making as representatives of the people, as members of parliament, are informed by evidence. Right now, the organization was formed in 2010, and over the last 15 years, we've done in-depth work in 30 African countries. Right now, we have ongoing work in 13 countries, and governance and strengthening the capacity effectiveness of parliaments is one of our areas of focus. We've been in Malawi since 2013 and have had a very, very strong partnership with the Parliament of Malawi in strengthening the effectiveness of the Secretariat in supporting the work of Parliament, but also in trying to address some of the structural factors that were impeding the effectiveness of Parliament, the autonomy. You remember in 2020, there was a landmark constitutional amendment that was made to strengthen the placement, the role of Parliament relative to the other two arms of government. So we are really very, very proud to have had that relationship. But in Malawi, we also work closely with other ministries responsible for education, health, environment, climate change, the National Planning Commission, and so on. This afternoon, there's a session that I'm going to come back to here at 3:30 with the Director for Library and Research at Parliament to talk about how we can deepen application of evidence in decision-making. But I have to say, I really love, the MC started with that. I love the theme of this orientation program, from election to action, empowering Parliament for impactful registration, governance, and transformative leadership. Your term as parliamentarians is starting at a time when Malawi is confronting many crossroads. And there's need for profound national renewal and transformation. I think Malawians have spoken loud through this general election. They want change. But it's not just change from the perspective of bringing a new team of players to manage business, to manage the development agenda, the same way we've managed it. That has really prevented the country from making substantive, sustained progress in the lives of Malawians. Malawians want real change. Malawians want to see a change in the way that we do development business. Despite the problems that we are facing in Malawi, Malawi has abundant natural resources, including minerals, a vibrant youthful population. We all sorts of, we can talk about developing tourism. The mining sector itself, the World Bank released a report earlier in the year, pinpointing mining as really the next big changer for the country if we make the right decisions and protect these resources from being exploited for personal gain, maybe rather than national, for the national good. This point I said about Malawi having one of its big resources being this youthful population. I'm a demographer, so I tend to, when I speak, I tend to throw one or two figures. And there are, I think, two critical figures that you need to think about as you start this term. It's estimated that Malawi now has 22 million people. between now and 2050, 25 years from now, 13 million more people will be added to the Malawi population, which is like 68% of the current population. So when we are looking at the challenges that the country is facing in providing quality, equitable education, in providing healthcare, in creating jobs, in making sure that everybody has a decent chance to thrive, we have to know that the burden is going to get harder and harder as we get more people. So I think this should prompt us really to take, us all to take accelerated action to ensure that sustainable development and inclusive prosperity is actually happening in the country. We have to improve access to education. How do we turn this youthful population into a demographic dividend that will accelerate development? Population growth can be negative, but it can be positive, depending on the choices that as a country we make. And I think as leaders, we have to see how population parameters are integrated in development processes, but more critically, as leaders, as representatives of the people, you know the factors that drive high birth rates in Malawi, including high teenage pregnancies, high proportion of young people getting married before they become adults. I was in 2012, I was sitting in London at the London Family Planning Summit, where the Vice President then led a delegation that came to London to say, Malawi is committing to saying there will be no parenthood without adulthood. And a few years later, actually under the leadership of the new president, President Mutharika, Parliament passed this landmark bill to increase minimum age at marriage from 15 to 18. But when you ask yourself the question, 10 years down the line, what impact has this bill had? I think it's very, very limited. Still 40% of our girls are getting married before age 18. And I think when you look at that, you can't have a demographic dividend. You can't have quality human capital. And I think I'm emphasizing this because Parliament can pass laws, but if there's no enforcement, the country will not go very, very far. So I should also mention as I wrap up, I see the MC is trying to produce his yellow card, so before he brings out the red, I should say that your term is also starting at a time when the development landscape has changed very, very substantially. We know overseas development, foreign aid is declining. And we know that our economy, where the vast majority of workers are in the informal sector, we don't have a strong tax base from which to collect taxes. So we have to ask the question, where will the money come from to fix the issues that we are facing, to develop this quality human capital, to have good health care and so on? And I think what I want to say here is that Parliament has a uniquely important position to help deal with this issue, to make sure that we are actually mobilizing more domestic resources, to make sure that through your role, your oversight role, you make sure that every kwacha that is spent is actually delivering the intended results as far as development is concerned. We have to make sure that there's efficiency. We have to move from just focusing on how much money the Minister of Finance is allocating to health, to education, to this and that, without doing financial scrutiny, to look at what those investments are resulting in terms of improving the well-being of Malawians. And most critically, through your oversight role, you can ensure that no kwacha ends up in a government official or a politician's pocket through corruption, that the money goes actually for development. And if we come and do the business as usual issue and not address these issues, I think in 5 years from now, you'll be leaving the office, and when people ask the question, what did this cohort of MPs achieve? You'll not have much to say. So in all this, I think it's important to put evidence at the center of it. Whether it's your work in the constituency, the new government has said they're going to increase the CDF. How are you going to choose the projects? And how are you going to reinforce accountability? How are you going to make sure that the intended results are being achieved? You have to put evidence at the center of all those processes, in legislation, in oversight, as I said. So let me end here by congratulating you again, but noting that The country has been going forward and backwards, forward and backwards. This is the time now when we need to steady the wheels of development for Malawi to move forward steadily. All our neighboring countries are moving forward. You go to Mozambique, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Kenya, Tanzania. We can't continue being the dark spot in terms of poverty, in terms of food security and everything. And I think this cohort of MPs, it has a uniquely high proportion of relatively young people, very, very diverse group. I think I have a lot of confidence that you are going to follow the tone that the president has set in saying, let's focus on development. Let's focus on addressing the bottlenecks that are affecting us, to do your part as MPs to make sure there's efficiency, there's accountability, and you're also going to protect the democratic governance that the country has fought for. So congratulations again, and wishing you all the best as you start this important work in rebuilding Malawi.
Wow. Thank you very much, Executive Director. Just for your noting, we are going to make an amendment to the program. The program now reads that the Executive Director for AFDEP will make remarks, but we are going to say he gave a lecture. Moving on with our program this morning, let me now invite His Excellency Lu Xu, the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to Malawi, to deliver, I hope, her remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. Mrs. Fiona Kalamba, dear Rebecca, Dr. Luzulu, Dr. Anyegwe, I hope my pronunciation is correct, and Mrs. Clancy from the UNICEF, honorable members of Parliament, media friends, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Mulibwenji. Please allow me to extend my warmest congratulations to each of you, especially to women, honorable members, and young faces, on your election to this distinguished House. The peaceful conduct of elections and the smooth transition of power stand not merely as political achievements, but also a triumph for every citizen who believes in the law, in the rule of law, and the power of collective will. In the fabric of global diplomacy, the relationship between our two great nations has been a thread of gold. Since the establishment of diplomatic ties 18 years ago, we have witnessed a remarkable acceleration in cooperation. Under the umbrella of the Belt and Road Initiative and the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, i.e. FOCAC, with remarkable edifices built, roads rehabilitated, university opened, and cities transformed. 2 years hence from this day, a new edifice shall rise beside the Parliament building, which has been given the name of Judicial Complex, with the endeavor and resources from the People's Republic of China. These are not mere structures of steel and concrete. They are monuments to our shared ambition. Yet, as you embark on this new term, your people's aspirations must guide your path forward. I understand the urgent challenges you face, securing bread for every table, nurturing fields to yield plenty, and lifting the burdens that constrain your economy. In response, China stands ready to act not with empty words, but with tangible steps. We will provide immediate assistance in grain and fertilizer to safeguard food security. We shall help to ease your fiscal strains through debt relief and expand tariff-free access for your exports. New investments will flow into critical sectors such as infrastructure, technology, and healthcare in order to fuel lasting growth. We will dispatch medical teams, offer scholarship for your youth, and share expertise to fortify your public services. But let me be unequivocal. The bedrock of our partnership is the One China principle. In the year of 2007, Malawi announced its recognition of One China, broke the so-called diplomatic ties with the Taiwan Authority, and established diplomatic relations with the People's Republic of China. His Excellency President Arthur Peter Mutharika personally witnessed the forging of these ties and proved instrumental in bringing this historical partnership to fruition. Taiwan has been an inalienable part of China since ancient times. Historical archives and international agreements from the Cairo Declaration to the United Nations General Assembly Resolution 2758 affirm this truth. This is not a matter of political convenience. It is a foundation rooted in history, law, and justice. Those who suggest otherwise ignore the weight of evidence and the consensus of international community. Just as no nation could tolerate the division of its sovereign territory, China will never compromise on this fundamental principle. It is our earnest hope that everybody could stand with this justice, reject any external interference, and honor the framework that has enabled our mutual trust. Looking ahead, the Belt and Road Initiative and FOCAC are offering a blueprint for renewed collaboration. Let us expand their reach by connecting producing and supplying chains, upgrading both real and virtual infrastructure networks, and pioneering green energy projects. Meanwhile, China's Global Development Initiative, Global Security Initiative, Global Civilization Initiative, and Global Governance Initiative are providing a compass for our shared journey. They champion inclusiveness, resilience, and dialogue, which are values that resonate across continents. Honorable members, the future does not belong to the hesitant and the doubtful. It belongs to those who build, who cooperate, and who dare to forge unity from diversity. Let us write this chapter together with pragmatism, with principle, and with unwavering solidarity. Thank you very much for your attention and wish you a successful tenure. Zgomo Kwambili.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for those insightful remarks. We are really very grateful for your words of encouragement and, of course, support. Let's give another round of applause. Honorable members-elect, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we proceed with the program, it is worth mentioning that this orientation program has been made possible through generous support from development and cooperating partners. Allow me at this point in time to acknowledge and appreciate the contributions from the following: the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, the Chinese Embassy, the European Union through Save the Children, Nothing for Children Without Children, Center for Civil Society Strengthening, FDH Bank, Grow With Us, Standard Bank, Malawi is our home, we drive our growth. National Bank, the Bank of the Nation, CDH Bank, corporate banking, our focus is to make your business grow. We also have contributions from NBS Bank, Your Caring Bank, First Capital Bank, Belief Comes First. We have contributions from NICO Group, Medical Aid Society of Malawi, A Friend That Sees No Weather, AFIDEP, Evidence for Development, Policy for Impact, Old Mutual, Do Great Things, and of course, ESCOM. Your financial contributions have really supported this orientation. Let's give them a round of applause. Honorable members-elect, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we proceed with the program, let us take a moment to celebrate Malawi's rich culture. Please join me in welcoming the National Dance Troupe, who are here to perform 2 traditional dances. National Dance Troupe, this is your time. Thank you. follows a Malipenga dance, which is very popular among weddings. The next one is going to be Kunju, popular among the Manganja people from the southern region. Let's enjoy the performance. Thank you. Thank you very much, National Dance Troupe, for that wonderful and, of course, spirited performance. Let's give them another round of applause. Honorable members-elect, distinguished guests, ladies and Gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to invite the United Nations Resident Coordinator to deliver the keynote address. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Rebecca Adad-Donto with a round of applause. Thank you.
Madam Fiona Kalemba, Clerk of Parliament, Honorable Members-elect, Your Excellency, Madam Lu, Elia, my brother from AFIDEP, the newest kid on the block from the UN side, Chika Charles, who is the new deputy at UNDP, distinguished guests, excellencies present, our friends from Nigeria and Kenya. I hear there are friends from Nigeria and Kenya as resource persons. You are most welcome to our warm heart of Africa. I hope you make some time to really see this beautiful country. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. When I grow up, I want to be a member of Parliament. So I'm really, really very thrilled and honored to be here with you today on behalf of the United Nations family in Malawi. Being here this morning means your constituents and Malawians have entrusted their hopes in you. Please, do not let them down. Let trust guide your debates, your decisions, and your service. Let it be the currency with which you build bridges across party lines and communities. This orientation marks the beginning of an important journey, one of service, leadership, and accountability to the people of Malawi. I knew many members of the previous parliament. Today, some of them are not here. Not because they did not want to continue to serve their constituents and Malawians, but because majority of their constituents no longer perceive them as having their best interests at heart. So, will your constituents perceive that you serve their best interests when Malawi goes back to the polls in 2030? Let this question be your food for thought as you begin your journey in Parliament. Honorable members-elect, Parliament is the place where the voices of Malawians find expression, where laws are made to guide your nation's progress, and where government is held to account. Through its oversight, legislative and representative rules, Parliament ensures that power is exercised responsibly, transparently, and in the interest of all Malawians. A strong Parliament is the foundation of accountable governance and the safeguard of Malawi's collective future. The UN in Malawi is very proud and humble to have collaborated with the National Assembly and other development partners in organizing this orientation. Our technical lead agency, the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, and that's why I have Chika sitting by my side, currently supports over 60 parliaments across the world to build their capacities to strengthen their capacities to effectively fulfill their constitutional mandates and core functions, as well as their national development goals, while ensuring alignment and achievement with Agenda 2030. This is because of the recognition that parliaments can be powerful agents, and you are powerful agents of change in any society, and in this case, in Malawi. Honorable members-elect, As elected parliamentarians, you will play a crucial role in shaping Malawi's national development policies and laws that advance human development and ultimately accelerate progress towards the achievement of Malawi 2063 and the Sustainable Development Goals. To quickly refresh our memories, and I beg your indulgence on that, to quickly refresh our memories and for the benefit of those who may not be very familiar with the SDGs, we see them around, we see posters, but to refresh our memories, there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, with poverty eradication as the overarching objective of the agenda, alongside the promotion of economic, social, and environmental development. The ambition of the SDGs is to be transformative and leave no one behind, including the most disadvantaged and vulnerable. And there are many, many in Malawi. I have traveled the length and breadth of this country. These 17 goals are interconnected. Often, the key to success on one will involve tackling issues more commonly associated with another. The goals are also integrated and localized into Malawi 2063 and its first implementation plan, the MIP-1. As the foremost democratic institution, Parliament is central to the realization of the SDGs. And in line with SDG 16, strong, transparent, accountable, and inclusive institutions are key to the achievement of all the 17 goals. Achieving the SDGs in the context of Malawi requires local action, and Parliament is a powerful agent for such transformative change. It is by ratifying international agreements, translating the global goals into real development at the national and subnational levels, adapting laws that respond to Malawi's development priorities, and monitoring their implementation while keeping the government to account that your Parliament can drive real change. Honorable members-elect, through your constitutional mandates, for example, in making laws and overseeing government policies, programs, and spending, including approving and scrutinizing the implementation of government's annual budget, and representing the views of your constituents, you are valuable partners in ensuring the accountable, inclusive, participatory, and transparent governance that is necessary to achieve sustainable development for all. Allow me to extend my special congratulations to my sisters, to the 48 women who have been newly elected or re-elected to the National Assembly, making 21% of total MPs. That is where I want to be when I grow up. It is noteworthy that in the election that brought each of you into the Parliament, 57% of women voted. Can you imagine if they all voted for a woman? 57% of women voted compared to the 43% of men who voted. To the women parliamentarians-elect, you are not alone in this journey. While more of your female colleagues are being elected to parliaments around the world, equality is still a long way off, and current progress is far too slow. Women continue to face numerous challenges, including discrimination or cultural beliefs that limit women's role in society. Balancing private, family, and political life, gaining support from political parties, and securing campaign funding are all challenges that makes it more daunting for women to seek political office. Most parliaments across the world are still heavily male-dominated. Just look at the first front row. On the left-hand side, there's only one woman. On the right-hand side, only two. For democracy to be fully representative, for public policy to address the needs of all citizens, for development to be inclusive and just, it is essential that women's voices are not just heard, but fully present, powerful, and equal in Malawi's parliament. I am aware that UNDP and UN Women are working alongside other key partners to provide support to the Malawi Women's Parliamentarian Caucus, including specific induction programming alongside other professional development support. And I fully endorse these initiatives. To all the honorable members of Parliament-elect, while I commend and applaud you in your new roles, I would also like to take this opportunity to encourage and challenge you as leaders to aspire for and actively support women participation in politics and leadership in general. It is standing shoulder to shoulder and doing it together for Mother Malawi. The encouraging sign is that you already have several women occupying key positions in government, civil society, and the private sector. And I see my sister, the ombudsman, sitting right in front here, Grace. So Malawi already has a lot of women in those positions. As a country, you are already a trailblazer, as you are among the first in SADC to have a female president, and the second country in all of Africa to have a female president. Malawi recently swore in a female vice president, Her Excellency Jane Ansa, and you had a very able chair of the Malawi Electoral Commission, Justice Annabel Intalimanja, all responsible for delivering governance and also your recent elections. I challenge you to look for ways to create the same opportunities and environment for women's participation in politics. As the former Liberian president and the first elected female head of state in Africa, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, once said, women's participation in politics and decision-making processes is not just a right. It is a necessity. It is a necessity for sustainable development and peace. Please help to cultivate that dream in aspiring Malawian women politicians now, both young and old, young like myself. Honorable members-elect, Malawi is currently facing one of its most challenging economic episodes in recent history. The World Bank has described the situation as a deep and protracted crisis marked by elevated inflation, declining living standards, and high rates of food insecurity. The current annual budget deficit is more than 10% of GDP, while public debt stands at 88% of GDP. The IMF has further highlighted the need for urgent fiscal consolidation to restore macroeconomic stability, particularly through strengthening domestic revenue mobilization. In addition, the country continues to grapple with persistent foreign exchange and fuel shortages, which are further constraining economic activity and household welfare. Urgent implementation of reforms is required to ensure Malawi is on a sustainable economic and fiscal path. At the same time, decisive and immediate actions are required to avert a severe economic crisis. The citizens of Malawi sent a clear message in this most recent election. Simply, fix the economy, fix the country. You as MPs and all leaders of the country must quickly understand the challenges faced by Malawians and work very quickly to find solutions to the problems citizens face every day. Your role will be pivotal, not only in enacting the necessary legislation to strengthen the country's economic governance, but also in exercising effective oversight as government works to restore confidence and stability in the national economy. All of this must be done with an eye to ensuring that the views and perspectives of the citizens who elected you are taken into consideration as such reforms are rolled out. There is urgent need for concerted efforts across the political divide, in and out of Parliament, especially among the leadership cadre, to address these challenges with the urgency required. While competition and divergent views are healthy in a democracy, competition and criticism that are driven not so much by the national good, but by selfish motives, rather than a desire to contribute towards the national good, can be very destructive and inimical to the development of Malawi. This urgency to fix the economy and Malawi's challenges requires a new paradigm of collaboration, a new culture of collaborative leadership and problem solving, in which government, opposition, independent MPs perceive one another as partners rather than as rivals. A new culture in which criticism of one another in Parliament is constructive and in the interest of the national good, and a new culture in which leadership of Parliament and government encourages and creates spaces for genuine dialogue and constructive feedback. Collaboration in Parliament for the national good is what Malawi deserves, and deserves it urgently. The UN system will accompany and support you in getting you up to speed quickly and with sharing best practices and lessons learned from other countries which have faced similar crises and which may be relevant for Malawi. We will work with you in sharing knowledge, tools, and practical advice. But in the end, the buck stops with you. You will need to make the tough decisions. And as you do so, you must remain connected to your constituencies and ensure that citizens' voices are reflected in national decisions. You have the power to ensure that public resources are used efficiently, transparently, and in the best interest of Malawi. Honorable members-elect, to honor the trust reposed in you by your constituents and Malawians, please allow me to challenge you to stand for leadership that is ethical, inclusive, collaborative, and focused on the common good. It is about inspiring trust in institutions and demonstrating that governance can deliver tangible results for citizens. Before I conclude, honorable members-elect, let me warmly congratulate my sister, Madam Clerk of Parliament, and your team for ably pulling together such an elaborate induction program and series. And finally, dear honorable members-elect, the people of Malawi look to you with hope and high expectations. May your membership and leadership and your tenure bring progress, stability, sustainable peace, and prosperity to all Malawians. Zikomo Kwambiri.
Thank you, Madam Coordinator, for that powerful keynote address. I think I can summarizing the address as a reminder to us to perform our functions in line with the people's aspirations. And also, of course, she also made a special call for support for women. Let's give her another round of applause. Shortly, I'll be inviting the guest of honor to give us an opening address. I thought I should highlight the word address. It's going to take a few minutes, the opposite. So I invite you to be patient. Honorable members-elect, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my singular honor and, of course, privilege to invite our guest of honor, the Clerk of Parliament, Mrs. Fiona Kalemba, to deliver the official opening address and, of course, declare the orientation workshop for members of Parliament-elect officially open. Madam Clerk.
Thank you very much, Director of Ceremonies. for rescuing me so that I don't explain the address that will take us up to this afternoon. Honorable members-elect, Your Excellency, Ms. Rebecca Adadonto, UN Resident Coordinator, Dr. Charles Anyekwe, Deputy Resident Representative, the United Nations Development Programme, Your Excellency, Ms. Lu Tzu, Chinese Ambassador to Malawi, Dr. Elia Zulu, Executive Director for AFIDEP, all heads of UN agencies, and all members of the Diplomatic Corps here present, senior government officials and heads of constitutional bodies, all our distinguished partners here present, our distinguished resource persons and moderators, and a special welcome to those coming from Kenya, Nigeria, and the UK. My colleagues, Parliament Secretariat, the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, another very good morning to you all. Honorable members-elect, distinguished guests, I stand before you on behalf of your Secretariat, the Parliament Secretariat, to welcome you all, our newly elected members of Parliament, our freshly elected honorable members of Parliament, our returning members of Parliament. We wish to welcome you to Lilongwe and specifically to your duty station, the August House. Since you're going to be here for 5 years, I should be welcoming you home. Allow me to start by expressing our sincere best wishes to you all, our honorable members-elect, for your hard-won and deserved victory on 16th September of 2025. Let us all start by giving you a round of applause. Heartfelt congratulations, honorable members, and I wish you all the best as you start your work. Some very interesting facts that I'll start with, just to break the ice, since we're going to be here till afternoon with me addressing you. We'll start with the social sector. I am informed that from our registration, the past 2 days, we have 2 celebrities. We have 2 celebrity musicians. I'm a fan of both of them, fortunately, and I declare interest. One, I will have to find out what his real name is. I just know him as, now I will say Honorable Fred Okis. And our Honorable Skefa Chimoto as well. We have 3? We have 3. Okay. Celebrities, stand up. Ule mwana, ndicho ule mwana. Thank you. We might have more, but it looks like it will be an exciting 5 years. Another sector, I've just chosen one professional sector, which has done quite commendably in this election. And I happen to be a very proud part of that profession. It is the legal profession. We've never had 8 lawyers, honorable members before. This time, we do. I believe the rest of the facts we'll find out. One other interesting one is we have 2 members who are serving their 5th term unbroken in this parliament term. Congratulations. So, honorable members elect, in short, Ole Mekezeka, the people of Malawi have elected you to represent them in parliament. This is a very noble task. You have been called upon to exercise 3 key constitutional roles: legislation, oversight, and representation. As your secretariat, we noted that this is a very crucial responsibility which the people of Malawi have decided to entrust you with, to perform with diligence, determination, hard work, and integrity. We have therefore organized this orientation program in order to ensure that you are equipped with the requisite knowledge and skills which will enable you to discharge your 3 constitutional roles. In this regard, the theme of the program is titled From Election to Action, Empowering Parliamentarians for Impactful Legislation, Governance, and Transformative Leadership. This theme reminds us that the mandate which you have been given from the 16th of September this year must now translate into your daily work of legislating, overseeing, and service to the people as leaders of this country. Parliament's role in representative democracy. Ole Mekezeka, Parliament stands at the center of our democracy. It makes laws that give effect to the aspirations of our people, exercises oversight over the executive to ensure accountability in the use of public resources, and represents the voices of citizens from every part of Malawi. These are not abstract ideals. They are the very tasks that you have been entrusted to perform. This orientation program is therefore designed to prepare you to discharge these responsibilities with special skill, expertise, and confidence. From campaign promises to governance. Ole Mekezeka, the period of campaigning is behind us. We have now entered the season of governance and meaningful delivery. Your constituents expect not just words, but results in the various socio-economic aspects of their lives, which include results such as schools that function, hospitals that deliver, roads that connect, policies that empower, and many more services which they desire to attain in their daily lives. To achieve this, you, Ole Mekezeka, must embrace the discipline of preparation, the rigor of informed debate, and the humility of listening to citizens and colleagues alike, all of which you will demonstrate during your term of office. Familiarity with parliamentary rules. Ole Mekezeka, now let me come to the part where I will entreat you to familiarize yourselves with the basic rules that guide the transactions of the House, your business. This is a special call to first-time honorable members. Please religiously internalize the standing orders, especially those that are frequently required by you. I will not preempt this hurdle, but I wouldn't be surprised if all 224 of us already know what the order paper is, what a point of order is, how to say I beg to move, and a lot of other terms. However, trust me, it will do you immense good to take the initiative to understand all the rules and in their fullness. There will be your compass in seamlessly navigating the August House with confidence and decorum. Impactful legislation and your technical support. Ole Mekezeka, as roots are to a tree, so is lawmaking to a member of parliament. I repeat, as roots are to a tree, so is lawmaking to a member of parliament. And lawmaking is not merely about passing bills. It is about enacting pieces of legislation that respond to Malawi's developmental needs, aligning with the Malawi Agenda 2023, and legislating to uphold constitutional values. In this regard, we encourage you, honorable members-elect, to utilize and draw on the internal expertise of the Parliamentary Service, your secretariat. In particular, we have table clerks, committee clerks, researchers, we have legal counsel, we have a budget office at your disposal. We are all here. You are also encouraged to tap from external technical expertise. We have cooperating partners, we have civil society. They will all enrich your understanding and discharging of your parliamentary business. In the present world, sound legislation requires robust evidence and open consultation. Oversight and accountability. Olemegezeka. The oversight role of Parliament is not adversarial, but it must be very firm. Effective oversight ensures that public resources are managed transparently and efficiently, whilst ensuring that public policies, programs, and services are delivered to the intended people. It is through resilient oversight that Parliament affirms the principle that no one is above the law and that governance is always subject to accountability. Transformative leadership. Honorable members-elect, Malawi today requires leadership that goes beyond partisanship. Transformative leadership is about setting aside the short-term interests and working towards long-term national priorities. The call I am making now will become clearer when you are working in committees where political party lines are blurred. It will also become clear, even in plenary, when you are called upon to exercise the will of your conscience without any interference, especially when it comes to voting on very crucial business affecting the nation. I am, however, mindful of the political pressure that you will experience in executing this task on the floor of the House. It is during these times when you should remind yourself that it is about ensuring that our laws and budgets reflect the aspirations of the ordinary Malawians. From the farmer in Nsanje to the entrepreneur in Zuzu, a teacher in Chitipa, and the nurse in Doha. This orientation, Olemegezeka, as pointed out, this program is not a formality, but a critical first step in equipping you to carry out your functions effectively. It will provide you with knowledge of parliamentary rules, resources, and practices, enabling you to engage in debate, committee work, and oversight with confidence. This will not only be beneficial to first-time members who will be introduced for the first time to every essence of parliamentary life, parliamentary procedures, strategies, and networks that make institutional work, but also those members who are returning to Parliament. For returning members, the program has been carefully refreshed and tailor-made to ensure that even as seasoned as you are, you will still benefit from new insights and tools to enhance your contributions across the board. Honorable members-elect, in the delivery of this orientation program, you realize that it has been designed to ensure that we blend all your skills and expertise to carry out parliamentary functions, since you are all coming from a diverse background in your professions. In this context, you can see from the program that from the main theme, we have drawn out 3 sub-themes which suit your day-to-day operations in Parliament. The sub-themes are aligned with various topics to be delivered by resource persons drawn from 3 distinct categories. These include staff of Parliament, distinguished local experts and also international experts to bring the international experience in your work. The sessions. Olemegezeka. Allow me now to give you a glimpse of what we have prepared for you in the program. The program has been structured along 3 main sub-themes, as mentioned. The first theme is on administration, entitlements, and nature of work for members of parliament. Under this theme, which will cover topics from today and tomorrow, part of tomorrow, this is dedicated to introducing you to the whole administrative structure of parliament. So your entitlements, your conditions of service, your welfare, and those areas that will support your day-to-day life at Parliament. The second sub-theme is on governance, Parliament's relationship with other institutions. This will take you up to Wednesday and is dedicated to share with you the place that Parliament occupies in the Malawi governance framework. The third and final theme is on parliamentary procedures, towards having an effective member of Parliament in Parliament through mastering of the procedures and practice. This will be the climax of the program and will take a bit more time. You will learn the business of the House, especially how to initiate it as a member of Parliament, how to introduce it, and how to process it. So let me not preempt the whole program, but I promise you that it will be very useful, insightful, enlightening, and above all, enjoyable. May I take this opportunity, therefore, to urge you, Olemegezeka, very seriously to follow the program with dedication until the end, particularly by ensuring that you attend all sessions. Let me now come to your secretariat briefly. Honorable members, I wish to bring it to your attention that the secretariat, your secretariat, is here to support you in this journey that you have just embarked on since your election. You will be supported by a very committed and dedicated team positioned to provide the technical, procedural, administrative, and all other support necessary for you to discharge your duties efficiently and effectively in the next 5 years. We therefore wish to urge you to use these resources fully, since Parliament will be strongest when empowered with knowledge and tools to lead. Vote of thanks. At this juncture, I wish to take this opportunity to express our profound gratitude and appreciation to the various partners that Parliament of Malawi is working with. These include the various government ministries, in the same vein, for their technical and financial support and cooperation rendered to us. The United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, and the entire UN family. The European Union, through the Punguanga project, being implemented with technical support from the Save the Children and the Center for Civil Society Strengthening, the Chinese Embassy, the African Institute for Development Policy, AFIDEP, Standard Bank, First Discount House, National Bank of Malawi, the Medical Aid Society of Malawi, MAZIM, Old Mutual Limited, CDH Investment Bank, NBS Bank, the Electricity Supply Corporation of Malawi, ESCOM, Nico Holdings Limited, and the First Capital Bank. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a round of applause. Thank you very much. When we realized that we had a resource cap, knowing that government alone could not provide all the required resources, we reached out for support, and you all responded, the partners that we have listed. We do not take this support for granted, and we wish to record our appreciation and hope to continue in this partnership. It is a partnership that is very important for the development of this country and should not end here. Parliament has a very important role to play in the deepening of our democratic values, and such support will go a long way in enhancing the legislative oversight and representative functions of Parliament. As a way of being accountable to you and Malawians, please note that at some point we will engage you and provide a report on how we have utilized all the resources that you have supported us with. In conclusion, and I'm very surprised that I'm already concluding. Finally, honorable members-elect, as you begin your service in this Parliament, remember that every decision you make will echo far beyond these walls and find its way in the annals of our nation's history. You have been chosen to transform the lives of Malawians. Let us therefore together move from election to action, building a parliament that is not only the guardian of democracy, but also the driver of the progressive realization of the needs of the people whom you will be representing. Before I close, honorable members-elect, distinguished guests, let me recognize and acknowledge my colleagues from the Secretariat, each and every one of the 236 of us, for the job well done in planning and working towards this orientation workshop. Please receive my deepest appreciation. Thank you. At this juncture, Olemekezeka, distinguished guests, it is now my singular honor and privilege to declare the 2025 to 2030 Parliament Term Orientation Program officially open. I thank you for your attention. May God bless you all.
Thank you very much, our guest of honor, the Clerk of Parliament, Mrs. Fiona Kalimba, for official important orientation. She has, in her address, she has given us an overview or a picture of what we should expect during this week. And with that, as of Parliament-elect, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the opening protocols of this orientation workshop. But we still group photograph, and for that we are going to proceed to the main entrance of the auditorium, where we are going to have a group photograph. And this will be members of Parliament-elect and of course members of the high table here. We are going to proceed this way. We'll start from the back row, and in that order we'll go to the auditorium main entrance. I hope you have enjoyed the opening ceremony. This has been Ian Mwenye. Thank you.